Hi, kindergarten. Happy Thursday, May 7th. Oh, no. What day are we? Yeah, May 7th, 2020. Wow, sometimes I'm so thankful I get to send these to you every day so I know what day it is. All right, because I don't get to do the calendar with you every day. All right, let's make sure. Yesterday we finished Midnight on the Moon. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was fun to see Morgan again. Let's make sure you have your learning tools. We have a new story problem today. Go ahead and grab your dry erase surface, your eraser, a marker that works, and I'm choosing the black one because it works the best. And let's get ready to do a little math together this morning. So here is our math problem. Ooh, all right, I want you to think back to when Jack and Annie were taking those big bounces along the moon, over the moon. And I want you to think about Annie. And it took Annie 2 hops to get over 1 moon rock. How many hops would it take for her to get over 2 moon rocks? Let's see. Remember, we draw what we know. Okay. So we have Annie, and it takes her 2 hops to get over 1 moon rock. So I am going to take my dry erase surface and my marker, and I am going to make 1 moon rock, right? Because that's what Annie is bouncing over. So there's my moon rock, right? And here is Annie, and she is taking 2 bounces. So here's 1 bounce. Boing. Here's another bounce. Boing. So that's Annie taking 2 bounces over that rock. All right. How many bounces would it take her to get over 2 rocks? So we have 1 rock here, right? What are we going to do? Do we need to make another rock? All right. Another moon rock, because this time she needs to go over 2 moon rocks. All right, and I don't need to erase my bounces that Annie took over the first moon rock. What could I do to the next moon rock? How many bounces? 2 bounces. Let's see. Boing. Boing. Oh, now how will I find out how many bounces does it take Annie to get over 2 moon rocks? What should I do? Count them? Awesome. Let's count the bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So it took her 4 bounces to get over 2 of the moon rocks. So go ahead, and I want you to draw me a number bond and a number sentence to show what's happening in your picture. How many bounces did it take Annie to get over 2 moon rocks? What's your whole? What are your 2 parts? And how are you going to make me a number sentence? What are you going to use in the middle? Are we adding? Are we subtracting or taking away? And what are we going to put here? Go ahead and have your family snap a picture, and I'll see if it looks the same as mine. All right. Good work. Good work. Okie dokes. I love number bonds. I hope you do too. I'm going to draw you a little picture, and I want you to write me a number bond. Have your family, and you can add it to the same one that you just did your work on, or whatever you want to do, and have your family snap that picture for me too, so I know that you are really understanding what goes inside of number bonds. All right, I'm going to draw you a little picture. Okay? Okay. Draw me a picture to show me how many things I see in the night sky. Okay. You're going to have your whole of how many things are in my night sky. And then the two parts. I see a moon. I see some stars. What will your whole be? And what will your two parts be to match the picture? All right. Nice job. Nice job today. Okay. It looks like we have a secret message from a little guy with a paw. My goodness, it must be from Guinness. Before we do our secret message today, though, I want you to be thinking about, remember you're going to be doing your writing today, writing about what happened at the end of the story. So you're going to be thinking about, why has Peanut been important to Jack and Annie? Remember what Morgan was explaining to them yesterday. Why was Peanut important to Jack and Annie? That might help you with what you want to write about today. Remember, tomorrow we're going to write down some things from the beginning, the middle, and the end. You'll draw me a picture for each. Tomorrow morning we'll go through some of the pictures of what happened over the last 2 weeks in the story to help you work on your memory a little bit, to get it rolling. All right, here is Guinness's secret message for today. And remember, when I do Guinness's message, I write all the words for you, and we try and fix some of his mistakes. Remember, that's called edit. Oh, this is funny. You'll get a kick out of this. I think I can have the same message as Guinness has today. If I was going to write a message, I agree with him. I'm having a hard time with my marker this morning. Excellent. All right, here we go. Sorry, friends. Thank you for your patience. I know that took a long time. All right. Here we go. Here is Guinness's message. Okay. Guinness is saying today, I like Jack and Annie and the Moon Man. All right, so take a look at it. See if you can figure out some of the things that are wrong, and then I'll circle them for you. I like Jack and Annie and the Moon Man. Ooh, I definitely see something down here that needs fixing. So I'm going to show you that that like needs fixing, that the needs fixing, and that moon needs fixing. All right? So this is supposed to be the word like, but I look at the word pattern as an ick pattern. So put that word together. Lick. That's right. So we need to change that to like. So I'm thinking back to the bike pattern. If you have your patterns right there, what is the Ike pattern? I think it looks just like this. I, K, E is how we change lick to like. All right? And then I told you that the word the needs fixing, right? Go ahead and put your muscles on. Can you show your families how we punch out the word the? Let's do it together. Ready? I only have one hand. You punch it out for your family. T-H-E spells the. Nice job. You have your muscles on this morning. Excellent. The, and then I told you that moon needs to be fixed. How are we going to fix moon? What word pattern do we need in there? Good. Oh, it's missing that O in there. Nice job. Okay, good work editing, everybody. Really nice job. What do you think of Guinness Messages? Do you like helping him learn? Do you like helping him helping to fix some of his word patterns? Just like when I'm helping you with your writing. When we talk about fixing your word patterns and fixing some of your memory bank words, this is just like helping Guinness. Pretty good, huh? You can do this to your own writing. Right? When Mrs. Murray tells you to go back and check and make sure you've added all the sounds that you can be checking for word patterns and memory bank words too. All right, so share the news. You're going to get to compliment somebody again today. Start with, I have fun with you when, and I am remembering back to when we used to have free choosing together. And I am going to tell you, I have fun when I get to watch you play with your friends at free choosing. When you get to choose the activities you want to go to and how to play there. That was definitely something I had fun doing with you, was playing free choosing. All right. Looking at the planets. Don't forget to go ahead and compliment as many people as in your family as you can today. Telling them how you have fun together. All right, looking at the planets. Here we go. This is going to tell us about every single planet out there. Have you tried that YouTube video? The planet of the solar system song? It's one of my favorites. If you haven't, try it. It's a great one. Look up at the sky on a clear day. What do you see? You see the sun. The sun is a star, you know that. Stars are huge balls of gas in space. They make lots of light and heat energy. The sun's energy reaches far and wide. The sun's energy reaches all the way to Earth, right? That's what helps us grow. Our plants grow. 9 objects move in paths around the sun. We used to consider Pluto a planet, but now it's considered a dwarf planet because it got knocked out of its orbit. So way back when this book was written, there were 9 planets because Pluto was still in its orbit. But now we only talk about having 8 planets in our solar system. Even though Pluto is still out there, he's considered a dwarf planet. The planets are much smaller than the sun. They don't make their own light, and they don't make their own heat, even Earth. Planets get almost all their energy from the sun. One planet is Earth. That's my planet. How about you? The 9 planets and the sun make up the solar system. The path a planet follows around the sun is called its orbit. You guys knew that. One whole orbit is a year on that planet. So the years can be different on each planet. The planets also rotate or spin as they orbit the sun. Remember we talked about that a while ago? That our planet is always turning. One whole spin is a day on that planet. So the days can be different on planets too. Their spin might be slower or faster than ours. The solar system also has moons, asteroids, and comets. Moons are bodies that orbit around some of the planets, so our moon only goes in a path around us. Asteroids are big chunks of rock that orbit around the sun, so they follow paths around the sun just like the planets do. Comets are balls of ice and dust in space, and remember we heard that comets break off from stars, right? Imagine a trip through the solar system. Your trip starts at the sun. You'll visit each planet in order. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and there's little old Pluto. Here's a sentence that might help you remember. Back when I was in school, I was in 3rd grade, I learned this too. It was called, "My very excellent mother just sent us 9 pizzas." That's the first letter from each of these planets in a sentence. It's kind of silly. Sometimes it's a great way to help you remember. Let's look at each planet in the solar system. So you're going to take a good look at each one, find out what's special about them. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. This makes it the hottest planet in the daytime. But at night, Mercury gets very, very hot because it must be turned away from the sun and the shadow must make it so cold. Mercury is a small, dry planet. It has a dusty surface and many big holes, kind of like the moon. They were made by crashing asteroids and comets. Those holes are the same as the craters on the moon. Something bangs into it, it just makes a hole. Venus is about the same size as the Earth. Venus has a thick layer of yellow clouds that surround it. The clouds hide the planet's surface. Sometimes call this the stinky cheese planet because the clouds are so low that it almost has kind of like a gassy smell. The sun shines on the clouds, so Venus looks very bright in the sky. Only the sun and the moon look brighter to us. From Earth, Venus looks like a shiny star. You can see it just before the sun rises and just after the sun sets. Earth, woohoo, that's us. Earth is the 3rd planet from the sun. We live on a rocky crust of Earth. Soil covers part of the crust. Most of the planet is covered with water. Under the crust of Earth is a hot mantle. At the center of the Earth is a mostly metal core. The layer of air surrounds the Earth. Living things breathe air. It makes it possible for us to have life on Earth. And here's our astronaut, just like Jack and Annie. Saw that American flag. Earth has one moon. The moon orbits the Earth. Astronauts have walked on the moon, so have Jack and Annie. There's no air there. That's why they wear spacesuits. The suits hold air for the astronauts to breathe. Mars is next. Mars is Earth's neighbor in space. It's called the red planet. Like Earth, Mars is made of rock, but the rock has lots of iron. The crushed iron makes the planet look red. Astronauts have not yet walked on Mars, but spacecrafts have landed there. They were looking for signs of life. The craft found no trace of any living things. Mars has the biggest volcano in the solar system. Its name is Olympus Mons. It is much higher than any volcano on Earth. Pretty cool. Beyond Mars is the asteroid belt. Thousands of asteroids are in orbit there. They're like very small planets. Most are less than 1 mile across. Beyond the asteroid belt is the biggest planet of all. It is Jupiter. Jupiter is the next 3 planets are not solid like Earth and Mars. They're mostly made of hot, swirling gas. Spaceships cannot land on these planets. It would be like trying to land on a cloud. Jupiter has a mark called the Great Red Spot. It's a giant storm that rages without stopping. The Great Red Spot covers a big area, a big space. Jupiter has 16 moons. We only have 1 moon. Jupiter has 16. And it's bigger. It's bigger than any of the other, one of its moons is bigger than any of the others in the solar system. It's even bigger than the planet Mercury. In July of 1994, right after Mrs. Murray graduated from high school, large pieces of a comet slammed into Jupiter. The pieces exploded when they hit and left large dark spots on the planet, so it almost looks like it made some shadows on there. Saturn is famous for its rings. They're made of big hunks of ice and rock. In between the big hunks are tiny bits of ice. All the ice and rock are in orbit around the planet. Saturn has 7 main rings. Each one consists of many smaller rings. Their rings are really wide, but they're also very flat, so kind of like a skating rink. Saturn takes prize for moons. It has at least 18 moons. That is more than any other planet in the solar system. Imagine having 18 moons up there in the night sky. Uranus. Take a good look at Uranus. Wow. Look at that one. That was the one that looks like it's knocked over a little bit. Its blue-green color comes from the planet's gases. Uranus spins like all the other planets, but this planet is tilted. Uranus looks like it's a spinning top on its side. It has rings like Saturn, but they're black. This makes them hard to see. Uranus has 15 moons. So it sounds like the gassy planets have more moons than the rocky planets. Neptune is far, far past Uranus. It's covered with thick clouds. The clouds are blue-green color. A huge storm always blows on Neptune, and people call it the Great Dark Spot. It's kind of like the red spot on Jupiter. The dark spot covers an area the size of Earth. So this spot is the same size as our planet. This guy's huge, huh? Neptune has 8 moons. The largest moon is Triton. Triton is the coldest object in the solar system. Its surface temperature is about 400 degrees below zero. Pluto. Pluto is the last planet, or used to be the last planet in our solar system. It's the farthest away from the sun. Sometimes Pluto's orbit takes it closer to the sun than Neptune. When this happens, Neptune becomes the last planet. Pluto is beyond the great giant gas planets. It's a small planet. It's even smaller than Mercury. And it's solid like Earth, which is kind of why it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't follow in the pattern. Pluto has only 1 moon, but it's a great giant moon. The moon is about half as big as the planet. So remember how we've talked about how there's all these mysteries in space, and the more we learn about them, the more things change. So Pluto is one of the things that's changed a bit. I wonder if Pluto still has a moon that follows it around and orbits it, even if it's out of the path of the sun. Well, maybe we'll have to do some research on that. What is beyond Pluto? Billions and billions of stars. Each is a giant super hot ball of gas, like our sun, and each is far, far out in space. All stars belong to the giant groups called galaxies. The sun is one of billions of stars in our galaxy. Our galaxy is one of billions of galaxies in space. Our solar system is a very tiny part of the great big universe. All right, my friends, go ahead and write about what happened yesterday. What happened with Morgan? Where did they go? What happened with Jack and Annie? Did they head home? Go ahead and do your writing, and I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, lots of love. Bye for now.